Guys, welcome to Hoops Junction. Today we're talking about the Dallas Mavericks. Mark Cuban recently came out and said that they're not gonna tank. The Mavericks aren't gonna tank the season because I guess they got so much pride, and that's not what they're trying to do intentionally. Here's the thing: the Mavericks should tank the season. They're already 3-13, 16 games in, and they're playing horribly. Not even a quarter of the way in. They haven't even got to 500 mark. They're 10 games below 500. 3-13, ladies and gentlemen. Dirk Nowitzki is ailing with the Achilles. His Achilles has been bothering him. That's not a good sign. That were me, that's a sign that he's done. Once the Achilles starts going, you start having knee problems, you're done. And, ask Kobe about it. Once the Achilles bothered him, it was a wrap. Now you have Darren Williams, who doesn't really produce anything, and he's always on the court, off the court, off and on again, off and on again. So you never know what you're gonna get from him. They just recently signed Harrison Barnes to almost $100 million deal. Then you bring in Andrew Bogut. You're thinking like, yeah, okay, we have Wesley Matthews, also bothered by Achilles injury, so he's not as athletic. You're thinking, okay, we got Dirk, Wesley, Bogut, Barnes, and we have Darren Williams, or we could plug in Devin Harris to run the point guard. You think that's a pretty solid team. 3-13 tells us otherwise. Rick Carlisle is dealing with a lot of moving parts, but the thing is, it's time for them to rebuild. I mean, they lost the whole sweepstakes with what's his name, DeAndre Jordan. That could have helped definitely bolster their defense, but their offense is horrible. Their pace is awful. They're almost dead last in pace. Their defense is right behind. Their defense is, and the crazy thing is, their defense is not that bad. It's just the simple fact that sometimes, you know how they say good defense leads to a better offense? Well, sometimes bad offense leads to horrible defense, especially in transition. So if they're taking like long jumpers and their offense is running so slow, they're giving up runouts, their fast break points. Teams are killing them. And you see this, it's sad because Dallas, ever since I can remember, Dallas has always had a pretty solid team. Even though they were like best in the West or whatever, like for a long while time, when Dirk won the championship, that solidified them. When they had Jason Kidd, Dennis Rodman playing on their team, I can remember those days. I remember when Steve Nash and Dirk were always playing Dallas versus Sacramento in the playoffs, and now we got this 3-13. I know the schedule is gruesome. I already complained about that. But there's no reason for them to be 3-13 other than they're done. That unit is done. They got to get rid of Darren Williams. They got to let Seth Curry get more minutes. They have to start planning for the future, because right now it's not working. Dirk hurting with the Achilles. I mean, just sit him the rest of the season. It doesn't make any sense, because what's going to happen is he's going to tear his Achilles, and then everybody's going to be like, well, he was injured, so why did you play him? And that's going to be a problem right there. I mean, for the Mavericks, everybody was thinking, okay, going in, it's time for Harrison Barnes to shine. Time for Andrew Bogut, to show the Warriors what they've been missing. And I guess the Warriors were ahead of the curve letting them go, because, honestly speaking, Harrison Barnes was a contributing factor to the Warriors going after Kevin Durant, because Harrison Barnes could not make one open shot in the finals in Game 7. That was sad. He struggled mightily. So... And then Andrew Bogut was never a scorer. He was just basically a rim protector. So you're thinking, okay, we get rid of these two guys, we're going to suffer. But the Warriors are thriving. They're like on a 10-game winning streak, whatever the case is. And the Mavericks, they're in disarray. I know they weren't planning for Dirk to be hurt, but to lose some of the games the way they've been losing, getting blown out by 20, not being able to stop anybody, allowing teams to score on them on will, their offense being lackluster. And think about this. Rick Carlisle has always had pretty solid offenses. Even in Indiana, if you remember that Pacers team that got in that brawl in the Detroit, that team with Rick Carlisle, they were amazing. Their offense was amazing. When they won the championship in 2009, their offense was brilliant. So Rick Carlisle is not like a dud when it comes to the offense. It's just the simple fact that his personnel is not what he needs. It's not what he needs. It's not what Dallas needs. They need to tank the season so they can get a high draft pick and they can make some trades and bring in some youth, because Dirk is done. Dirk is done, and I'm sorry to say it. Like, you know, Father Time is undefeated, but just to watch him play and belabor himself, and you know, you watch Wesley Matthews. I don't know if you guys remember Wesley Matthews on Portland. He used to be a beast, and then you know he tears the Achilles, and there goes the career, man. I mean, I don't know. They give you glimpses of greatness. You know, sometimes Harrison. I think the other 2 weeks ago, Harrison Barnes had a career high. You know, and you're thinking, okay, like okay, they're turning the corner. They're turning the corner. 3-13, you're no longer turning the corner. You're a dud. And it's time for them to make some trades and tank the season. Tank the season, get a higher draft pick, bring in some youth, bring in a nice big man that could definitely bolster your roster, and you know just play for next season. Because right now it's over. It's over. Especially this whole Darren Williams experiment. What a bust. What a bust. I'm very disappointed. The guy used to be top 5 point guards and all of a sudden just disappeared. But that's a topic for another discussion. This is Vlad from Hoops Junction, where Hoops meets Hoopla. Peace.